Hey everybody, it's Jason with Jabby's Treasures. I know this is a last minute thing. We decided to have our pop-up live discussion here on some of our handmade items. And so we're going to wait a few minutes for some people to come in. Very, very special guest today, my daughter Abby, who I've talked about quite a bit. But we're going to just hang out. Abby, make sure you're muted on YouTube if you're watching it on a different tab. Awesome. And we will, Annie, thanks for coming in. This is a last minute. Bonnie, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Last minute pop up here to kind of go over some of our handmade stuff. And well, I should say our handmade stuff. It's not really mine. I don't have much to do with it other than help Abby with the business side of it. She does all of the creative stuff with her mom. So when I say ours, I just mean, I should say Abby's stuff because it is hers. So for the first time, Abby's a little nervous. She's a little nervous to be up there. Oh, Bonnie says she loves her plant, Abby. She's one of the ones that bought the plant. Annie says hello. So again, if you've been following along this week, we are not at home, but we are having fun. And Abby brought some of her stuff. Bobby, how are you? Thanks for coming in. We brought some of our stuff. So I want to talk a little bit, Abby. You and I are going to talk a little bit before we show some stuff.
Okay.
And it's funny. While we're in the same exact location, it was just easier to do it this way with the two cameras and the StreamYard stuff. So Abby's 11 and a half, and she learned how to crochet. Abby, tell people how you learned how to crochet.
So I had saw someone do it like on YouTube, and I tried to make I don't even remember what I tried to make like for my first project, but it was a total fail. So then I was like just watching videos on YouTube, and I saw someone like a 10-second clip of someone like crocheting, and I figured out how to do it from that.
Yeah, she's pretty much self-taught. And in fact, I will say I think you're actually better when you try to create it by yourself than when you try to follow a pattern. Some of those patterns can get kind of crazy with their wordings and their symbols and stuff. So we did bring a bunch of stuff. Abby did bring a bunch of stuff, a whole suitcase full of stuff to show on this, anticipating that we would go do this live. I think I remember everything we have. So if Abby, you're going to have to correct me if I'm wrong. But Bonnie's in the chat. I know she said she loved her plant. That was one thing that Abby made up on her own. She just put a couple colors together. It looks like a brown pot with the dirt, and then plant coming out of the dirt, and it was really cool. She has made some blankets, right, Abby? Do you have one? Do you have a blanket? Mostly baby blankets. Oh, and I think you're going to need to step aside and get your temperature blanket at some point too.
Oh yeah,
because you're going to want to show that off. But she's made some baby blankets, and so I'll let her show it. It's about 30 by 30. This is the one we have with us, and eventually we're going to, and she's got a top sew in that one end there on the back, I can see, but weave in that one end that's hanging out. But how long does something like that take you to make, Abby? That's like a 30 by 30 baby blanket. How long does something like that take you to make?
So this is like in the round with like a granny square. And I finished it in a weekend with doing everything, like doing all the regular stuff that you do. So probably like 4 or 5 hours.
That's amazing, because I think it would take me like 4 or 5 years, and my fingers would be bleeding. I have a niece that is going to be having a baby here in June, and Abby made an awesome blanket for her and the new baby, and they really enjoyed that. So the one that she made for my niece was matching. The one that she has here is not. But then I did not know what a lovey was until Abby started making it. But these are for babies too. This is a bear. Can you hold it up just a little bit more, Abby? There you go. It's up. please. Raise it up a little bit. There you go. But crochet kind of basically a stuffed head with then the flat piece for. I don't know what are they for. I don't exactly know what a baby does with them. Are they more for decoration? Do they hang on something, Abby?
I think it's kind of like a toy.
Just a soft toy for.
Yeah. But this is made with like the same kind of granny square as the blanket, and then a head and some safety eyes that I sewed on to the middle.
Awesome. So they're saying great thing. They cuddle it. Okay, thanks, Bonnie. Or there's something for comfort. Annie says to hold a snuggie. Okay, awesome. One of the other. So then, well, actually, how you started with some of the stuff you made, you started making hats, right?
I did.
Different size hats. I have a hat I got for Christmas. There are some that are like, we call them like the tween size for Abby's head. Crocheted hats, bucket hats. She's made those, the rainbow, the blue, and then the light blue and pink. And then she's also made some for infants, and also made and doll size hats for like the 18-inch American Girl doll, or the other 18-inch dolls. Obviously, I'm not up on my doll names because I can't think of them right now, but American Girl is the big one, and they fit the American Girl. Kathy, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Just decided to do this on a whim here, so we appreciate everybody coming in last minute. But those are more for the dolls, right, Abby?
Yeah.
The dolls.
So this one I had tried because I thought it would be cool to have like the fluffy and then like the regular yarn, but it ended up not working because the fluffy yarn almost like increased it and made it a lot like it's like really big and wide, so it didn't fit very well. So now I just make them with like the fuzzy on the bottom.
The ruffle.
Yeah.
Okay. And so now Abby gets to laugh at me because there's a word, and I'm horrible at saying it, but it's basically making crocheted stuffed things, that animals, right? That's the only way I can say it. And it's amigurumi.
Yes. Kind
Wow,
of.
did I say it right?
Very close.
Okay, you say it.
Amigurumi.
Amigurumi. So this just happens to be she said this was just a scrap monster that she made with extra yarn, just practicing. But her and her mama are doing, and mom's doing a lot of it, but
Helping.
Okay, I'm sorry. We do have, someone that ordered 5 bats, and I've mentioned that before, and they're putting the bats together, the gray and there's a example of amigurumi, the bumblebee. That's a tiny bumblebee.
It's like
palm size, 11-year-old palm size. So it's kind of small.
Compared to the scrap monster, it's small.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Somebody, can you make toddler size hats? And Mama jumped in, said, I'm sure she can. She any size hat, really, from adult down to Barbie size, I would say, right, Abby?
Yeah.
Is that fair? What else do you have with you? I forget.
So going back a little bit to the baby and toddler stuff, I made this like sweater.
Which you've got to weave in the ends there.
I got to weave in on the ends for it. I did a few of them, but I have to weave in most of them still.
Can you turn that around so we can see the other side?
It looks pretty much identical because of the way I made it. But there's like the ribbing on the bottom. So it's stretchy,
right,
on the bottom and then around the cuffs.
Do you know what size that would be? roughly?
My guess is like it's not newborn by any means, but it's probably like between like a 12-month to like a 2T, like somewhere in there.
It's hard for me to tell here on the screen. I haven't really looked at that one, but
Yeah.
We'll have to, you know what, Abby, that's something we'll have to figure out, is the measurements of kids' clothes, so that we can say that it's approximate 2T. Why don't do you have other things in your suitcase that you have?
Yeah.
You do? Okay, let's see them.
So this is another amigurumi
Carrot. Okay.
The little carrot.
Yeah, you could make your own little vegetable tray, right?
Mm-hmm.
Display. All right.
Here's a frog with a hat.
A lopsided frog there.
Yeah, a lopsided frog.
Okay, that's pretty cute.
Adler wanted me to make something red, so I added a little red hat.
Red
hat. Orange on the screen, but it's a little red hat. Let's see. This is a very crazy, like, can cozy, I guess that's what it's called.
A koozie, yeah. And that works good for like a water bottle too, didn't it?
Yeah.
You've used it for a water bottle. Okay. And now all of this stuff you're making from your head, right? You have not. I
haven't. None of the
only thing that we've used the pattern for. Yeah,
none of the stuff that I've shown I've used a pattern for. It's all like completely, like I had like little balls of yarn, so I just was like, why not make a monster?
Yeah.
I've seen people make them before, so I was like, why not make a monster? And I actually really like it. So.
I do too. Now, there's another can koozie type thing, right?
Yeah, this one isn't as extravagant.
It has extravagant.
They're the same size.
They are the same size, just the one has the ruffle at the top.
Yeah. This one's like a pink camo.
Right. Okay.
And then I think like the last thing I have is this. So this is a baby blanket in progress.
And eventually that'll be the same size as the other one that you showed, right?
Yes. So there's the white in the middle, and then it goes out in the granny square with the rainbow colors.
Okay. So while I'm catching up with the chat, do me a favor and go grab your blanket, the big blanket that you're making.
Okay. It's huge.
I know. Well, Kathy, she has every color under the sun. You should, for an 11-year-old, you should see her room. It's bins and shelves of yarn. But this next piece is kind of the one that is just so amazing to me, that she took, that she's committed to it, starting on January 1st. But so what that is it's an in-progress temperature blanket. And Abby, tell them, before you show it, tell them how it works. So how do you get every row is what?
So each day we take the temperature at, like, basically where our house is, whether we're at our house or not. We take the temperature where we are, and then we write it down, and each different color corresponds with a different temperature range. So like I'm working on a dark green row right now. So dark green is in the 30s. So I'm pretty sure the day that I'm working on is like March 21st or 22nd. I'm way behind because the rows take forever. But I'm pretty sure it was 39 that day. So it gets a dark green row.
Right. So we kind of go through the colors that you're using. So the coldest from under 10 degrees is what?
Light purple.
Okay, and then
we've
work
only
your way
had
all the way
a
up.
few of those.
unfortunately, we had quite a few of those. Then work your way up. Go tell them what the rest of the. So from 10 and below is light purple.
So next, I'm gonna see if I can get like the end of it, so then I can show what the colors actually look like. So we have the light purple right there. And then we have dark blue, which we didn't have a whole bunch of those. That's, I'm not good at this.
That's 11. Yeah, it's opposite. It's 11 to 20 degrees, right? Is the dark blue.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see it, but.
Okay.
And then next is light blue. We've had so much light blue.
Abby, just tell them the colors. I don't think we have to show them each line. Just show them the colors because it's hard to see the lines. But tell them the colors that we're using. So 11 to 20 was dark blue.
Yeah.
21 to 30 is the light blue.
Yes. And then 31 to 40 is dark green. And then 41 to 50 is light green. And then 51 to 60 is like a mustard. And then 61 to 70 is orange. Or no, light yellow.
Light yellow.
And then 71 to 80 is orange. Then 81 to 90 is like a maroon. And then the highest, which is 91 and above, is like a bright red.
Right. And it's middle to the end of April, and we've already we've gone from light purple to we had an 80-degree one, didn't we?
Yeah, we've gotten to orange.
We've gotten to one orange. So we've gone all the way from light purple to orange, and there's only two left after that. There's the maroon and the light red, or the bright red after that. So what a swing in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can you stand up and show?
Let's see. I have to move this chair out of the way.
And while she's doing that, we are doing that. She's committed to this. She committed that, and she's going to do that. So every row. So she's going to put a gray border around the whole thing. She puts a gray line in between each month so that she knows where the months end, and she's going to do that all 365 days of the year. As you can see, it's already becoming gigantic, and it's interesting to see how the temperatures changed. Now we're getting into the yellows and the oranges at the top. So, hopefully it'll get into the more of the orange and the red, and then it'll come back down for the rest of the year. But you're going to put that on your bed when you're done. That's your plan, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Kathy asked, how do you weave in the ends? She said she had a hard time disguising hers.
Okay. I'll be right back, and I'll show you.
Okay. So that is something that we're very proud of her of, not only for the commitment, but the craftsmanship in it. She is a little bit behind, and we remind her every day that she's got to get some more done. But that's going to be quite an accomplishment come the end of the year when that's done. Michelle O, thanks for coming in. Let me get you a wrench.
So all I do to weave in my ends is I take like a tiny hook. It's like this is a 2.1 millimeter hook. Okay. It's a lot smaller than the hook you're using. So if you're already using a small hook, you should use like the smallest hook you have. And then I go through where the end is, and I go through like a stitch that's very close to it. I just go through like one loop, just enough so that it won't fall out, and then I just pull it through. And then I keep doing that down and down until I get like 3 inches down or so, and then you can cut it off and kind of like massage it like the very last little bit into it.
So what the thing that you're saying you go down the length of that piece, not around the edge, right? You're going down and back into the middle of that piece. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I go. So the end was right here, and
Yeah.
I'm working my way down to
Right.
like right here,
Okay.
and then I'll cut it off. But that's how I weave in my ends, where you can't tell. And in like the corners of granny squares,
I can.
just
Annie,
weave
give me
it
just a second.
down.
I'm not sure why she's not. All right, Abby, you're up. It's all you. I'm still here. You just need to. They wanted to be able to see what you were doing better.
So in like the corner of a granny square, it dips in just a little bit, but you can. I don't know if you can even tell from the back. You can kind of see where I've like weaved it.
A little bit. I just want to say hi to Amber. Amber's here. She is the one that did the sneech for Adler.
Oh, okay.
Crochet is the one that did the yellow sneech for your brother.
Okay. So, and then like on my Gurumi, it's a little bit hard because I haven't mastered the like decreases at the bottom.
Okay.
There's like the holes are a little bit bigger, but the stuffing doesn't come out, so I don't really think it's that big of a deal. But then when I'm like sewing things on and I have like little ends, like you can kind of see in here, I just take like a tapestry needle. I use like the plastic, like bright orange plastic ones. And I'm just going to show you with a carrot because there's a bunch of little like things in it that I can tuck. So I just like lay it against where you like want to put it and find a little hole. And then like use the back of it and just kind of stab it in.
Yep. Okay.
And then it hides it pretty well.
So of all the things that you make, what is your favorite? What's your favorite that you've made in terms of what you've liked to make? And then what's your favorite to do just based on it's fun making it?
So I really like making the like sweaters and baby stuff.
Okay.
I just think they're really cool, and it's interesting to make things like with the ribbing. Because I made a sweater for one of my friend's younger brothers, and it took forever, and it was only like a 5T. Because
Right.
that's the one thing I used a pattern for that I've made.
Amber asked what size needle you're using on the toys, like the amigurumi.
I use a bigger hook than like most tutorials that I've seen. I use a 3.75 or a F5 crochet hook because it's not really tight, but it's also not really loose. Like that's what I used for this.
So, Abby just froze. Oh, there you are. So something that anybody that uses StreamYard for the first time, you have to remember it's all backwards, and that's why Abby's.
Yeah.
When she moves something, it goes the opposite off the screen. Should have warned you about that. So that's your favorite thing. You were talking about the clothes, right? Yeah. Is that your favorite to make, or is that your favorite?
I really like making the granny squares, whether I turn them into loveys or blankets. I just really like the granny squares because they're simple and you only need one stitch, really. Well, technically 3 stitches, but 2 of them aren't really considered a stitch. You only need a double crochet, slip stitch, and chain.
So I'm going to jump in with some of the business stuff, and this is another proud moment here that I'm talking about. So we have sold a few things, and we had the plants that we put up for sale, and we have a Abby and I have a Google Doc that we share, and it breaks things down, and she puts some money into savings and some money back into supplies, because you can't keep making things if you don't have yarn to make it with. And then of course she has some fun money, because why not, right? That's what you need. You want your fun money. But for her to take that and split that up and really do that, she's really learning a lot. And that makes us proud of her too. Just she's handling it very well. Demetrius, how are you? Thanks for coming in. Oh, Amber's asking. She's right-handed. So Kathy's asking if you would tackle a unicorn sometime.
My friend was talking about making a unicorn because she also knows how to do some crochet. She was talking about making a unicorn, and I was going to make one, but then she made one before me, so I didn't do it. But that's something I wanted to make.
Do you think you could? Kathy's saying, would you make her a unicorn? Yeah, we could try. You would try it. So
and I have a pattern as a last resort.
Right. And the one thing that we do say is that, she's 11, she's in school, she has kid things to do, she has schoolwork to do. So we don't take orders for and say, hey, we'll have it to you in a week or whatever. There has to be some patience, because this is a hobby for her, right? And she's got other hobbies and other responsibilities. So she does it when she can. And now someone's asking if you can make a Hello Kitty Lovey.
I'd have to look up a picture of Hello Kitty, but I think I could do it.
Right. There's a lot of pictures of Hello Kitty that we could find.
Yeah.
But so I would suggest, if you are interested in something, email me at jabbiestreasures@gmail.com, and we can talk about it. But again, and like Kathy said, whenever she has time, I can wait all year if I need to. But that is one thing that we've learned a little bit, is that this is not something that we're ready, and she's not ready to take orders and stuff yet, right, Abby? That's fair. Just because there's other things going on. So, okay, Amber's saying I'm going to say the word just because it makes Abby laugh. On the amigurumi, when you reduce stitches, look up invisible decrease. That will help with the holes, or I can show you. And Amber and I talked at a different time. She has her crochet show sometimes, and she said maybe Abby would come on as like a young artist. And I said, well, let's see how this goes, and we can talk about that.
I think that would be fun to do.
Okay. Well, I know how to get a hold of Amber. Maybe Amber and I can set that up. Is that still an option, Amber? Is that still something that we can work on? And you'll have to look up the invisible decrease.
I think I figured something out. I don't know if it's like the invisible decrease, but I think I figured something out so it's not like this. Oh God, I'm still getting used to this backwards camera.
Yep.
I think I figured something out so it's not like that. I just haven't really tried it with any other projects that are here.
Okay. So maybe I'll embarrass Abby a little bit, but anytime that we go away, it's always a question of, what are you putting in that bag to bring with you? Why are you bringing so much stuff? Oh my goodness, what are you doing? And but this time I said to her, bring your finished stuff, because if we have time, this live was scheduled for the 12th, and that's why the thumbnail still says the 12th, and we just had to cancel that. We had too much going on that day at home, so we rescheduled it for now, and that's why I said bring that with you. But I would say
takes up a lot of space.
What's that?
Yarn takes up a lot of space.
It sure does. In your bedroom too. But I've never seen anyone so interested in getting the getting the flyers for Joann's and Michael's and the coupons and comparing prices as that girl to my, well, on the screen to my right. But she is, she loves it. So one of the things, even your teachers, because there was a time when at recess, when you couldn't go outside at school, you would take a small bag and do yarn, and you made I'll call it a koozie for your giant water bottle that you carry around,
Mm-hmm.
and with a handle, because this poor girl in the morning, her backpack weighs probably 40 pounds, and she's got her other lunch bags and stuff. And so she made a carrier with a handle so she could put it over her arm for her water bottle and take that with her. And even some of her teachers, because there was one boy, right, that his water bottle kept knocking over and making a lot of sound, making a lot of noise. And the teacher asked if you would make him one so that it wouldn't make so much.
The teachers kept taking it away from him, so then he couldn't have his water bottle.
Yep. So, and that thing's lasted quite a while. I mean, we've washed that over and over and over again, and that's lasted quite a while. What would you, if there was something that if you had all the time and all the yarn that you could think of, what would you want to make? What would you want to just, other than your temperature blanket, which we're going to hold you to here?
I don't really know. I've always wanted to make a sweater like this for me, but I just never have had the time and the patience to make something that big and not feel like I've been working on that for 6 months now. I got to finish that.
Right. And that's important, because that's one thing that we've also found with Abby too in doing this, is that, and this is why the temperature blanket is such a big deal, is that, when she's doing this, she likes things that she can get done in a short amount of time and feel good about getting it finished. And if it's taking too long, right, then I think that's normal for everybody and every kid. So, but so that she decided to pare it back and figure out what she could make where she could be done in a couple hours or be done in a couple days or whatever, except the temperature blanket, right? We're holding you to the temperature blanket, and that is going to be one giant, massive thing. At least 365 rows plus 12 gray ones, and then 2 edges, right? So,
when we made the starting chain for it, we made it like 8.5 feet long.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that now. That's a long time ago, but
yeah.
So now we just need to get you, when we write down the temperatures, you got to get caught up here, because you said you were on March 20 something.
Yeah.
It's April 20th. So you got to do 2 or 3 rows a day to get caught up here before summer comes, when then we'll probably have more to do and we'll be outside more and everything.
Yeah, at least then I don't have 6 to 8 hours of school to worry about.
That's right.
That's 6 to 8 more hours of the day I have.
Well, Bobby, I learned Bobby said when she used to crochet and knit, she had so many different projects started. And when Abby first started this, I would tell her, look, you've got so much stuff going on. Two projects that's finish one and then start, but no more than 2 going on at a time. And she just looked at me. She's like, that's not how it works.
It isn't.
And I've come to realize that she just needs to let those creative juices flow and do what she can. And the only thing that we do hold her back on is buying more yarn when she absolutely doesn't need it, because that's and you can tell by that face how she feels about it. But because you have a lot of yarn, you do have a lot of yarn.
I eventually will have to get 2 more skeins of white, though.
You will, and now you're probably gonna have to get something sparkly for a unicorn.
Mm-hmm.
And pink and what's Hello Kitty's pink and black and white, right? I think.
I don't know.
You'll have to take a look at that. You'll have to look that up. Abby, is there anything that you want to say? I know this is going to be a quick show today, but I'm glad. I appreciate everybody that came in last minute, and again, we're very proud of her. And on our banner, on our YouTube banner, it does say handmade goods on there. So we want to make sure that we're showing the handmade goods, and we keep you posted on that. I think the temperature blanket is something that we can continue to show progress of. And of course, as she comes up with plants or does the unicorns or whatever, we'll be sure to share those everywhere.
Your most popular video is my temperature blanket.
I know that's true. We did a short one time. It was maybe the first 30 days of her temperature blanket, and I did a YouTube short for it, and it got thousands of views, and it was only like 9 seconds long or whatever. And so she likes to remind me of that's my most viewed video is that 9-second short of her temperature blanket.
That's like 9,000 seconds of watch hours.
I know. Amber says, "What's your favorite colors?" And yes, Dad, you have several whips at once. Works in progress. Yeah, absolutely. I know. I'm learning that, and I'm becoming okay with it as long as she stays up with her other stuff, and which she is. She's doing great with everything else. Kathy says it took her 4 years working on her crocheted Alabama blanket. I finally finished it in 2016. Wow, 4 years. So actually back to the temperature blanket, you had talked about one time about doing baby temperature blankets for like the month the baby is born, right? If someone wanted, if someone I'm just making somewhere up, Alabama wanted a blanket, Crimson Tide colors for the month that their baby was born. Mm-hmm. That was something you were thinking about doing too, because then it would be it's a baby blanket, so it's short, small, and it's only 30. It would only be roughly 30 days.
So like this is what? 1, 2, 3. This is 20 rows around.
Okay.
But this is also thicker yarn than I would use for that.
She's asking, Amber wants to know what your favorite colors are. Hold that blanket up because that shows most of your favorite colors right there.
Yeah, most of my favorite colors are in here. Right. I really like light purple and mint.
Yeah, mint. That's what I was going to say. Mint and light purple are probably, that's what I would have said if someone asked.
Mint, light purple, and then light yellow are my 3 favorites.
Bonnie has these great craft books that she puts together, and she's got 3 of them in progress right now. See that? I guess I'm not a crafter because I want one thing at a time, finish it, and then move forward.
Yeah, you're not a crafter, or are you crafty?
Hey, I just tell the bad dad jokes, right?
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Any final thoughts, Abby? Any other questions from the chat? I think we can be done for today. And I again very much appreciate everyone coming in at the last minute and supporting us here. If there is something that you're interested in, email us. I know there was the Hello Kitty and the unicorn. As long as you can be patient with it, we can see if that's a possibility for Abby to do as time goes on here.
And I am willing to sell some of the stuff that I showed today. So if you saw anything you liked, there's only a few things that I'm not willing to sell.
The tween hats you made for yourself, right? Yeah,
I made these 3 for myself.
Kathy's dads can learn craft. My dad didn't stitch until he was 60. See, I have a friend whose dad quilted, and I don't think he started until he retired, really. So Kathy's going to email me on the unicorn. If anybody's interested in anything you saw today, let me know. You go back and watch. Let me know. Email me again, and we'll talk. And with that, I think anything else, Abby? We're going to go. Anything else from the chat?
These 3 hats and the scrap monster.
You're keeping for yourself, right?
Yeah, those are the only 3 things that I'm not gonna, or the only 4 things that I'm not gonna sell.
Okay. And if anybody did buy anything, you would of course finish up the ends and
Yeah.
package them right. Okay. Thanks again, everybody. Have a great day. I will be on tomorrow morning, as long as everything goes okay. I'll be on. Email me a shirt size for Abby. Okay, I can do that, Amber. I'll be on tomorrow for my live. Usually I'm listing, but I'm not going to be listing this week because we're away. But at 9:45 tomorrow morning, I'll have my live chit chat show, as we'll call it tomorrow, because I'm not listing on eBay. And we will talk to everybody later. Thank you and have a great day. Thanks. Thanks, Abby.